Live from the Quad Cities with Morgan Otier and Kyle Keel. This is Quad Cities Live.
Today on Quad Cities Live, spring break fun for families at the Putnam Museum and Science Center in Davenport. See what's new for you to enjoy. This week, the spring equinox is happening. What this shift in seasons means for us, plus fun ways for you and the kids to connect with nature. And a visit from Travel Iowa. Whether you're looking for a weekend getaway or a longer trip, we'll talk more about new trends, spring destinations, and summer planning. It's Tuesday, March 18th, and you're watching Quad Cities Live. School's out for a lot of area kids, and we're celebrating spring. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Morgan Otier. Spring break has a lot of families thinking about travel plans right now, and staying close to home could be the perfect option for a variety of reasons. Here to tell us more about travel trends is Jessica O'Reilly from Travel Iowa. Jessica, welcome back.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here.
Yes, us too, and lots to talk about as usual. Every time Jessica's here, we're going to cover a lot of bases. Something that you're noticing this year, though, travelers are really seeking to kind of unplug, unwind, and live in the moment. So our first segment today is kind of based on that.
Right, exactly. Ways to slow down and just really enjoy your travels. So one of the first trends we're seeing is noctourism. Noctourism, yes.
I love it.
So, last year's solar eclipse had travelers chasing the sun. Now they're seeking the night sky. Between the eclipse and glimpses across the country of northern lights last year, we had those here in Iowa.
Yes.
We're seeing that astrological events can really drive travel. Many consumers are looking for activities like stargazing, full moon parties, or nighttime festivals when booking trips. Of course, Iowa's rural landscapes are perfect for destinations for stargazing.
Yeah.
White Rock Conservancy is said to have the darkest skies in Iowa. That's over near Coon Rapids. And Preparation Canyon State Park, also on that side, the western edge of the state. You can set up a tent, camp under the stars.
I love this.
Great ways for travelers to explore.
Yes, I love this for Iowa. I love it for our Midwest people. We have, we really are a draw, like, to get away from those city lights, and you're going to be able to see the Aurora Borealis and all of that. I mean, we were able to see that last year.
Yeah, and people, who don't have that just don't understand what they're missing.
They do not, so that's great. So also off the beaten path travel, so people are kind of starting to want to avoid the busyness.
Right, exactly. Want to avoid the tourist hotspots and instead are searching more for authentic experiences, deeper community connections, even budget-friendly options.
Okay.
Guess what? Iowa's a perfect destination for all of those things.
Yeah.
They're seeking out those underrated destinations, hidden gems, or even destination dupes. I think we've talked about this before. So, like, if you can't afford Germany, try the Amana Colonies, or if you want a Dutch experience, we've got Pella or Orange City, or maybe you want to go Danish, we've got Elkhorn. So just different options to experience different cultures.
Yeah, that's great. And one thing I wanted you to touch on before we move on to the next point is the website, the Travel Iowa website. That is honestly a great resource because you can kind of put in different criteria for what you're looking for. So when you talk about dupes or places in Iowa that look like maybe other places in the world or have a huge influence, the website is a really great place to start.
Yes, we like to think so. We like to make it as easy as possible for people to plan their Iowa trip. So yeah, you can search by maybe you want to do an agritourism adventure, or you want to do camping, or any sort of adventure. We have those. We also have a tool where you can say, I'm coming from Davenport and I want to go to Des Moines, and it will populate with things you can do along your route. And you can say, I want to go to this museum and that brewery and this winery and this, and just build your own custom itinerary.
Yeah, it's kind of a way to check out all the hidden gems along the way, along your road trip, so to speak.
Absolutely.
So the next point would be slow travel. So what's kind of the definition of slow travel?
Yeah, so similar to this, people wanting to break from the crowds. These are people who really looking to truly disconnect from the hustle and bustle. So we like to say they're trading FOMO, the fear of missing out, for JOMO, the joy of missing out.
I love that term so much.
So yes, we're all about JOMO travel, the joy of missing out. So rather than like squeezing in a jam-packed itinerary and coming home just like you need a vacation from your vacation type thing,
Yep.
this is really like slowing down, doing fewer things while you're there, just really savoring that time with your family, making those memories that are going to last a lifetime, and sort of not just being like, I got to do these 10 things on my checklist.
Yeah.
It's really just like, these are the 3 things we're going to focus on, and just.
Well, like anecdotally, I just telling you before we started the show that I was able to take a trip with my family just a couple of weeks ago, and something similar happened, and that's why I totally understand like the JOMO of it all, because my brother wanted to like go and do something like really fun every single day. I mean, being on vacation is fun, but like he wanted to do the activity, the thing, sign up for this, do this, and the last couple days I said, no, this is my vacation too, and I don't want to do anything these last couple days except for read a book.
I love that.
On the beach.
Absolutely.
So no, I totally get that. It's like you don't want to come home from planning this big trip totally exhausted. You know, we're tired of that.
It should be a relaxing, rejuvenating. You come back refreshed type thing.
Well, and one thing that was cool that you noted in your notes to us is that searches are up for slow travel. 19%.
Right? So yeah, people are clearly looking at something that they want, and they're seeking out those experiences.
Well, come on
over.
Iowa. Yeah, absolutely. And this year, Travel Iowa is really working to kind of show travelers what they will get in return from coming to Iowa.
Right. If you give Iowa time, you're going to get back so many memories and rich experiences that you will carry with you and your family moving forward.
Yeah,
absolutely.
There's a lot there, and there's plenty more to come because Jessica's going to be sticking with us throughout the hour. And coming up, we're going to be taking a closer look at spring destinations in and around our area. So a lot of folks are on spring break this week. A lot of people have it coming up, so this is a great time to plan. Now, speaking of spring, after the break, we'll learn more about spring break opportunities with the Putnam Museum, plus details on this week's History on Tap.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
If your family is staycationing this spring break, be sure to stop by the Putnam Museum for all kinds of activities and opportunities for entertainment. Here from the Putnam with a rundown of what to expect this week is Scott Peak. Scott, welcome back.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm excited for everything that we're going to talk about. You are geared up for some science experiments, which we will get to a little bit later. But I want to start with some of the movies that you're showing this week on the giant screen.
Yes.
I kind of always go on and on about this because it really is a cool place to see a movie. The screen is actually giant.
Right.
And we have the opportunity to see The Wild Robot a few more times this week, a couple more times.
Yeah, actually it's playing right now as we speak.
Okay, so get over there.
But then tomorrow again, tomorrow afternoon, we'll have it for the final time.
Yes.
And then on Thursday, we will have Wicked.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
You guys are going to have Wicked on the giant screen?
Yeah. When I saw it in the theater the first time, I said, oh, okay, well, now we have to get this on the giant screen.
Yes, absolutely. That would be like the perfect place to see it. There's just so much going on in that movie. It's great. And I don't want to like gloss over The Wild Robot either. That is a fabulous movie. I saw that with Darby like in the fall at the drive-in movie theater.
Oh.
And it's a great movie. So anybody who hasn't seen it.
Well, one of the things that really drew us to it is it feels related to the museum in a bit, in a way, you know, robots and nature and all that.
Yeah.
And it has some of those shots feel like documentaries.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen it on the giant screen yet, but I can just imagine kind of some of those panning shots through some of that on the giant screen.
Yeah, it's really great. So make time tomorrow if you've got nothing going on tomorrow afternoon to see that, and then definitely make time to see Wicked on the giant screen. So also very exciting at the Putnam is the newly renovated Science Center. So that is now open. So talk about what's new there or what's different.
Sure. So that's why I'm wearing my hard hat.
Okay.
You know,
Construction.
Construction is still kind of going on. We're not completely finished, but the Science Center is reopened again.
Wonderful.
So it's back in its old spot, but it's renovated. So right now, it's kind of at probably its lowest amount of things.
Okay.
From now until beginning of May, we'll be adding some new things that we haven't had before into the Science Center. And you can see it there on the screen.
Yeah.
And we're excited that it's back open again. And because it's open again, we also have Hall of Mammals open.
Okay.
Again, that one was closed during construction. And now we have the regular entrance through the bridge into Black Earth Big River. And that exhibit actually has some new changes in it as well.
Oh yeah, I was reading about that. So it's always been a popular exhibit.
Yep.
So it's interactive, like an interactive ecology exhibit. But you have added some new things. So talk about it. It's including more Native people stories.
Yeah. So the river, obviously, and the earth are a humongous part of the Native communities, and so we've got some stories in there from one of our favorite Native partners, Larry Lockwood, and then some others who tell some stories and kind of dig deeper into the relationship between Native peoples and the land.
That's awesome. So plenty of reasons to go and stop by the Putnam, and plenty of reasons to keep stopping by the Putnam. As you mentioned, you're going to be adding things to the Science Center. Recently, you were on the show, and you were talking about this exhibit, which is very cool, Mysteries of the Mayan Medallion.
Yes.
That exhibit opened recently. It's also very immersive.
Yeah, so you kind of go in and you're solving this mystery. This crew has gone and gotten lost.
I love this.
And they left these clues behind, and you have to kind of solve it. And then when you put the clues together, you find this.
You solve the mystery.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's very cool. We're looking at some images of it right now. I have seen a lot of people in the area, families, posting about this and how much fun not only their kids, but they are having with this one. So it's definitely a popular exhibit there at the Putnam. Okay, as we mentioned when we got started, it is spring break for a lot of districts, and there are some great opportunities at the Putnam for kids who are not in school right now. Obviously, it's Tuesday, so you've missed a couple of days, but that doesn't matter because there are still some openings daily for spring break camp.
Right, so we've got a group for the younger group, K through 2, and then an older group, 4 through 6, grades 1 through 3. Yes, 1 through 3, sorry.
No, that's fine. I have the notes, right?
Yeah,
Scott doesn't. I got the notes in front of me. So grades 1 through 3. And 4 through 6. So you can there's still a plant party and seeds to sprouts this week. Cardboard creations take flight. What's that one? Can you tell us about that one?
I don't know what that one is, but I do know about cardboard creations.
Okay.
My daughter's actually going to do that one, so that's fun. But anyway, so they're going to have these little like table saws for cardboard, so they can cut out these different things. So they can make their own little creations. And I think there's a group project that they're all kind of making together as well.
That's really sweet. Yeah, and they have one for the younger kids and they have one for the older kids. The Cardboard Creations Spellbound Spring. I would just encourage you to just go on the website if you're looking for something fun to do. It starts in the morning hours. And you brought some
couple
experiments and activities with you.
So one of them is just an activity. So go ahead and grab this. So we're gonna make a seed bomb. Have you ever heard of a seed bomb?
You know what?
So here's one that somebody made with little flowers on it.
Oh, okay.
So the idea is that you throw these out into ditches and places that need flowers or wild things. So we're gonna make a small little like dish.
Like a disc. Okay. Oh, a dish.
And then we're gonna take a little bit of, just a little sprinkle of that.
Okay.
And then we're going to take, now if you're going to do your seeds, we recommend that you use something like this.
Okay.
That's going to have native plants in it, because we're not trying to spread things that aren't native.
Yes.
So then you just take a little sprinkly of these, and then you just close it up.
Oh, I might have too much.
That's all right. It's fine.
And
you let it dry.
Okay.
Until it's like one of these here. And then you throw it. You could throw it in the yard or ditch or wherever. Try to be respectful of other people's property.
Thank you, Scott.
But it's a great way to kind of spread pollinators. And you could, so if you wanted, you could just be driving along and throw it in a ditch.
That is fun. And like anytime you can tell a kid, like, hey, let's make this, and you can throw this outside. That's always going to be
But it has
popular.
everything it needs to kind of grow, and it stays nice until you need to, and then you get the nutrients from the clay.
Oh, this is fun. What a great idea.
So my other thing is a little experiment
this looks very
here.
scientific.
So too bad Kyle's not here, because we're going to make a cloud. We're going to make a cloud in a bottle. So all I have here is some 91% alcohol, and I put some, put that on. Gotta be careful.
My safety
and a little food coloring in there just so we could see it better on TV, really. And then we kind of coat the bottle with this alcohol. And now we're going to pump some air into it.
I'm having so much fun.
Okay, now give it like 10 pumps. So what's happening is we're taking and pushing more and more and more into this. And everyone's getting a little sweaty in there.
Me included.
You included. Are you ready?
Yeah.
And now we have cloud in a bottle.
Oh my gosh. Yes, it really does look like a cloud.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So we got the...
Kyle would love this.
So
I don't know
then,
if you're watching right
if
now,
you
we're
wanted to
sorry.
clear it out, this is kind of fun too. Give it a little pump. And actually,
Smell the rubbing off.
it clears it up again.
That is really fun.
So you can go ahead and do it another time.
That is so cool. Think of all the fun things that the kids could be doing right now instead of watching YouTube on their tablets like my daughter.
Exactly.
Also something that we wanted to touch on as well though, so people can sign up, by the way, should I take these off, on the website? Absolutely
It's
not,
a good,
Morgan.
it's a good look. It's a good look.
People can sign up for that on the website anytime. Just go on there. You can read the descriptions of the camps. But for grown-ups, History on Tap is back this Thursday, March 20th. I love this topic, history of the Davenport School District.
That's right.
Well, this was I did trivia at the Putnam recently,
Right.
you'll remember.
Yes, I do
And
remember
one
that.
of the categories was like the Davenport School District, and I hadn't realized how long it had even been around.
Yes.
And there's a lot there.
Yeah. So our friends from the Davenport Schools Museum are coming to do a little presentation, History on Tap. See, this is perfect. You come at 5, get a little drink, do the presentation.
Yeah.
Grab a little food and go see Wicked. You know, it's a whole night.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Yes,
whole night.
you spend the whole night at the Putnam. What a great place to be. So yeah, free with general admission. This has been going on now for, I would say, about a year.
It's been going on for probably a year and a half.
A year and a half,
Yeah.
because I remember when we started talking about this when we started Quad Cities Live. I mean, is this well attended? Because this seems like a really
Actually, when we
fun thing
changed
to
the
do.
time to be a little bit earlier,
Okay.
it started to pick up in attendance because people could come right from work or
Yeah.
get a drink and kind of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really great, and it's a beautiful space to be. It's a beautiful space to have a cocktail, learn something new.
Yes,
so,
exactly.
Awesome. Well, if you want to learn more about the exhibits open now at the Putnam Museum and Science Center, or if you want to secure a spot in one of the spring break camps, visit them on the web at putnam.org. And I should just throw in there, too, if you want to secure a spot to any summer camps,
Yes,
now
those
is
are-
also,
those
those
are
fill
open-
up really
Yes,
fast.
those are actually filling up quite quickly. So
Quite
it's a
quickly.
good thing to get on and you do some of these same kind of things.
Yeah, so
at
while
those
you're
as well.
on there, check those out as well. Scott, as always, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Still to come on QCL, spring fun doesn't end when spring break is over. Travel Iowa is back with what to see and do in some exciting destinations not too far from home.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
You can celebrate the return of spring right in your own backyard by planning a weekend getaway to explore some of Iowa's best family-friendly activities. Jessica O'Reilly from Travel Iowa is back with us. And Jessica, we're starting with a focus right now on farm adventures in the Cedar Falls area, which is great because that's only a little more than 2 hours from the QC Metro.
So close.
Yes, very close.
Absolutely. So we'll start at Three Pines Farm.
Okay.
They offer a variety of hands-on workshops, animal encounters. Leonard the llama is a must-see.
I heard that.
He's adorable.
Yeah, popular. Yeah, very cool.
And they also have overnight camping you can do in this large bell tent right there out on the prairie.
Oh, that's
It has a
awesome.
stargazer roof, so you can just lay there under the stars. Going back to the noctourism, you can
Yeah.
catch that there. Nearby in the town of
Oh,
Hudson.
there he is. I just saw
Yeah,
him.
isn't
I did
he
see
adorable?
Leonard. Yes, he's cute.
They also do goat yoga every once in a while, so watch their calendar for fun things like that. Nearby in Hudson is the Hanson's Dairy. The full experience tour includes a trolley ride to the farm to feed a calf.
Oh.
You can milk a cow, pet the kangaroos. That's right, I said
Oh,
kangaroos.
Yeah. I'm like, wait a second.
Right, yeah, kangaroos are so adorable. Make butter, sample products, and eat ice cream. So who doesn't love that?
Oh my
Those
gosh.
tours do require reservations. You can make those online or by calling ahead.
I love this idea, especially for kiddos who, and families who aren't super close to like the rural areas. That,
Right.
there are going to be some kids that go milk a cow. I do that all the time, but not everyone
kids-
gets this experience. Like that is
Exactly.
very cool.
Yes, and connecting them to where food comes from, I think,
Yes.
is important.
That's great.
If you just want to be outdoorsy, the Hartman Reserve Nature Center back in Cedar Falls is 340 acres.
Oh, that's
With
gorgeous.
trails, educational exhibits, an interpretive center, and unique programming and events. Those trails are open every day from sunrise to sunset. And then a bonus in the area, Lost Island Theme Park.
Whoa.
And the water park. The theme park opens May 24th. They have more than 80 acres of rides and attractions. And Lost Island Water Park, the state's largest water park,
Is
that
it
opens May
really?
30th.
Oh my gosh. I didn't realize how close all of this stuff
Yeah.
was. Although I'm like terrified to get on a roller coaster, but I'll hang out at a water park.
I think you
that's
should
for
do the
sure.
lazy river.
Yeah,
That's more your speed.
You know me so well. That is absolutely there. There I am, right
There,
there,
see?
in
Exactly.
the lazy river. That's very cool. Okay, so plenty of things to do. Truly, I mean, if you wanted to take a long trip to that area, you just named 4 things that would
Exactly.
fill up the entire.
It could, or you can maybe say, I want to do 2 of those things and just
And take a and
relax,
have a
slow down a little bit.
slow down vacation, like we just talked about.
Exactly.
Let's talk a little bit about places that we could eat in that area.
Yes, because you can't not eat, right?
Gotta
you have
eat.
to eat somewhere.
Yeah.
Whiskey Road Tavern features an eclectic American fusion menu, as well as an extensive whiskey selection with over 100 to choose from.
Whoa.
So, that will keep you busy for
Yeah.
a while.
Pace yourself.
Tony's La Pizzeria has been providing the Cedar Valley with the same great pizza since 1958. Hand-tossed dough and made from scratch. The pizza is iconic.
Okay.
And then you top it all off with a visit to Scratch Cupcakery. They offer a rotating flavor menu, including some vegan options. They have from 400 cupcake flavors.
Oh my
Who knew?
gosh.
They also have giant cookies, edible cookie dough, cupcake shakes,
Oh my
and
gosh.
more. So make sure you save room for that.
Absolutely. The cupcake is one of my daughter's favorite things. She loves herself a cupcake. And I've heard of Scratch. They're very popular.
Yes, they are. They started in Cedar Falls. They have a location in West Des Moines as well. And
Okay. Yeah. Very cool.
Delicious.
So definitely a stop.
Can vouch.
And where are we going to stay if we don't stay in the tent?
If you don't stay in the tent,
Yeah.
the Black Hawk Hotel, it's a locally owned boutique hotel right there in the heart of downtown Cedar Falls. So you
Gorgeous.
can walk to restaurants and the trails nearby. There's an ice cream shop close by. It is the 2nd longest continuously operating hotel in the country.
Oh, yes.
It's been there a very long time.
You know
There's been a
what?
hotel
I remember you and Kyle talking about this because Kyle went to school
Yes.
there. And yeah, that is really a cool spot.
It is a very cool spot, and it is just primo location because literally it's within steps of different restaurants and the
Yeah.
bike trails. It's got 28 different guest rooms and suites, so
Perfect.
lots
So
of historic
book
charm.
it. Book
Yes.
it.
Book it now.
Yes. And next we have Burlington, Iowa, which is about an hour and a half from the QC Metro, and it's part of like our DMA is here at TV6. So we get to go to Burlington often, but we don't get to go to Burlington necessarily as tourists
Right.
very often. So there's a lot to do. We've heard of the first one, Snake Alley.
Absolutely. Everyone should have heard of Snake Alley.
Look
So
at that thing.
It's been dubbed by Ripley's, believe it or not, as unbelievably crooked.
Yeah, it is.
It is. Constructed in 1894, it's got 5 half curves, 2 quarter curves, and drops 58 feet over a distance of 275 feet. You can drive down it. You can also walk down it. They do a bike race over
Yes.
Memorial Day where they
The
bike
Snake
up
Alley, the
it.
Criterium.
That's true, and I don't know how they do it.
No.
I've seen photos, but oh my God,
I'd be
I
walking
don't
that
know how
thing
you do
up
it. Yeah.
those hills.
Absolutely.
Then we have Fun City, which this is great for the family.
Yes, your daughter would love this.
Yeah.
So it's 100 interactive arcade games. They've got indoor go-karts. They've got bowling alley and so much more. Laser tag, all the options right there under one roof.
Right there for you. Oh, very cool. And we'll learn a little bit more because that's also part of the where to stay.
That is true.
Okay, cool.
We'll come back to that.
Yes, we will. Stars Cave Park and Preserve. That is beautiful.
Yes, we just like to encourage people to get out. We have such great county and state
do.
parks in Iowa. Most of them are free, which other states that's not the
They'll
case.
charge
So
you, yeah.
so here, take advantage of our outdoor spaces. There's 200 acres of forest communities and limestone bluffs. They also have an extensive trail system and a nature center.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It reminds me a little bit of Maquoketa, like
Yes.
looking at those. Just another option and not too far away. And you have another bonus visitor spot for us.
Yes, I love this story so much. So this is in Danville, tiny little town, maybe half an hour away from Burlington. This goes back to Miss Birdie, a teacher back in the 1930s, who started a pen pal program with children from Anne Frank and her and her sister were pen pals with 2 girls from Danville, and so they exchanged letters.
No way.
And so it's just such a cool story, and they have copies of the letters that you can see. And then the display is beautifully done. You can see you saw someone opening the bookcase.
Yeah.
And then just like they were in the
Yes.
so where they were hidden, so you go back
in
there.
history. Oh my
and
goodness.
so,
yeah, that would be very cool. A very cool spot to
Such
check
an
out.
interesting connection.
So where are we going to eat? Let's get to the, you know,
the important
the
things.
important thing.
So the Drake Restaurant boasts a dining room and patio with views of the Mississippi River. I know you see those here, but just go downriver and enjoy them there as well.
Yes, it's beautiful no matter, yeah.
And also apparently there is a ghost. So ask about the 19th century ghost and see what happens.
We love a ghost.
Yeah,
the lady ghost.
That's right.
Yes, 19th century lady ghost.
So Drake Restaurant, or Good Restaurant and Lounge. It's in Burlington's oldest stone house. They serve brunch and dinner. You can also enjoy craft cocktails around the fire pit, or a beer and a board game in the upstairs lounge.
That's a good name for it.
Good food, yeah.
Good food at Good Restaurant and Lounge. So
Absolutely.
that's a good one. Plenty to do there as well. And then where are we going to stay? Well, we already talked about Fun City.
So if you're going with your family, Fun City, they do have some rooms with bunk beds. So if you've got multiple children and you need some extra space, they've got that. Now, if you were just going for an adult-only getaway, the Catfish Bend Hotel is adults only. So you have to be 21 and older to stay there, no kids. So depends, and it's same thing, attached right there. So
it's right there. Oh, perfect. Okay, cool. So a little out of the way, but totally worth it. Some spring events that are worth the drive, and these are coming up actually. The first one in Waterloo is April 5th.
That's right. So it's the Iowa Eats Food and Drink Festival. It's featuring, unsurprisingly, Iowa food and drink products.
I love this. Yeah.
Chefs, artisans, and ag-related products. You can enjoy food and beverage tastings, cooking demonstrations, and live entertainment. And that's April 5th in Waterloo. Of course, Tulip Time in Pella, May 1st through the 3rd. And Pella's beautiful.
Yeah.
We stopped there on the way down here today.
Did you?
Had to stop at the bakery.
Yes.
And get a little tasty snack.
You know all the hot spots.
That's right. So, of course, at Tulip Time, it comes alive with tulips, Dutch attire, food, fun, and more.
Oh, that's fun.
This year is the 90th anniversary of Tulip Time.
That's a big deal,
So it's a big deal. I will say, if you want to just enjoy the tulips and maybe not the crowds, go watch. They have on their website, they'll have a tulip tracker so they can tell you what beds are blooming. So if you want to go like a few days before or a few days after and get the enjoyment of the tulips but not the crowds.
Yeah.
And still the lines will be shorter at the bakeries.
That's wonderful, yes. So, you got all the hard facts.
So there's a good option there too.
Amana Colonies, I love the Amana Colonies, and that's not too far at all.
No, Mayfest, May 3rd through the 4th. It's a German tradition of celebrating spring. You've got the parade that kicks off the festivities, and of course the maypole dancers and lots of great food.
Yes, Amana Colonies are wonderful. And then the last one you have, so this is mid-May, Orange City Tulip Festival. Yep, so this is similar.
Yep, in northwest Iowa, so far northwest corner of Iowa.
Okay.
It's Dutch music and dances, 2 daily parades. They do the street sweeping there as well. Dutch delicacies and dishes, all surrounded by thousands of tulips. This one has been on my list for a very long time. I have not yet gone.
Yes, I hope everybody was taking notes because a lot of good stuff there. And of course, it'll be on our website if you missed anything. Jessica isn't leaving quite yet. She will be back one more time to talk about another trend in vacation planning, nostalgia travel. I'm really excited about that segment. So we're going to learn more about that coming up. And still to come on QCL. We've got a lot to talk about. We are actually going to be talking about the spring equinox. We're going to shift from winter to spring. Prairie Rivers Network is here to show us ways to celebrate with the entire family.
Andy, we were just talking a little bit about Burlington, Iowa. Here's a live shot of Burlington. Mainly cloudy skies, but mild with temperatures in the 60s and 70s across the area. A little bit bumpy Wednesday. We get a lot of spring in the afternoon, some winter in Wednesday night. We'll explain in our First Alert forecast coming up.
Accurate and reliable. This is your First Alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Eric Maitland.
All right, mostly cloudy to partly sunny skies across the area, but underneath these clouds, we've got south winds. So that has managed to warm a lot of us into the 70s. Take a look, 71 in the Quad Cities, Clinton at 70, 72 Muscatine, Mount Pleasant. Very pleasant, 76 degrees. Few holdbacks in the 60s, including Rock Falls and Sterling at 66, Galesburg at 69. Galena a little on the cooler side, 63 degrees, but still well above average for this time of year. Dry conditions persist. Look at these low humidities. So even though we don't have a red flag warning or any kind of fire weather warning at this point, our gusts are still coming in, or our winds still coming in from the south now at about 15 to 25 miles per hour. So you should not be even considering outdoor burning. Really another windy day Wednesday with a first alert day. And here's why. As we go through the afternoon, say from about noon to 2 o'clock at the earliest through about 5 to 6 p.m., that will be around with showers and thunderstorms. Some of those storms could be strong to severe. Right now we're looking mainly at gusty wind and hail to be the main threat, but the isolated tornadoes cannot be ruled out. And then we get a bit of a break into the evening. Late in the evening into Wednesday night, we get some snow and some wind, and this will be a wet snow. Thankfully, the roads will get a chance to warm up, so we're not really looking at any slick conditions unless we get a heavier snow than we're anticipating. But right now, accumulation on the grassy and elevated surfaces. Wednesday morning, a few showers, maybe even some thunder showers north and west of the Quad Cities. None of this would be severe, but as we get into the afternoon, we're going to get a little bit of sunlight here. That plus the south winds, which could add some moisture, will give us enough instability for some scattered thunderstorms to develop, and these will bear watching during the afternoon. This is 3 o'clock, and there's that scattering of storms. Some of these could be strong, maybe severe, and these continue to move out pretty quickly. By about 4 to 5 o'clock, they should be out of the area. Some rain returns later in the evening, and that's all attached to the leading edge of a band of snow which moves through, and this is that wet snow which will melt mostly on Thursday because we'll get back to a sunny sky. Here's our severe weather risk, mostly in a 1, but in this orange here east of the Mississippi, that is a level 2 risk. And for snow amounts, could be anything from a dusting to maybe a couple of inches, but again, it's not going to last long. There's a system to our west. Here are partly sunny skies that will continue for the afternoon with a few clouds into our evening and overnight with some rain on the way by daybreak.
All right, Eric, thank you. Coming up next, we're marking the shift this week from winter to spring. Prairie Rivers Network will join us with ways to celebrate the change in seasons.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
You may have noticed we're seeing more sunlight every day. That's because the spring equinox is approaching, marking the end of those darker fall and winter months. Here with ways to help us celebrate that, the change in seasons, is Nina Struess from Prairie Rivers Network. Nina, welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Well, this is such a fun topic.
Yeah.
The spring equinox, it is set for actually this Thursday,
yes,
which is March 20th. So what does it all mean? You have kind of like a little bit of science behind it.
Yeah, I mean, it's very similar to the fall equinox, right? Where the sun is going to be directly above the equator. So what that means for us is we are going to experience, the same amount of day and night.
Yeah.
So it's literally equal.
Yeah.
And also too, it just kind of marks the beginning of us transitioning from winter into spring.
Yeah, because the days will get even longer and longer after that, which, people have been asking for a couple of months now. Every time that I think one of our meteorologists, Kyle specifically, I can think of right now, he'll say, hey, we're getting an extra minute of daylight, starting this week. And people go crazy over it because, you know what, we're tired of it being cold and dark all the time. So we're celebrating and in some really cool ways that we can actually incorporate our entire families in. So let's talk about some of the ways that we can do that.
Yeah, well, one great way is to get outside, right? We always encourage that. So we do have a scavenger hunt. I always love creating these for the equinoxes and the solstices to kind of enter into the season. And so it's just a really fun way to get outside, see what's growing, see what's out there. There's a lot of nesting activity typically going, sprouting. Of course, it's going to be wet and muddy too.
Yes.
So there's some things you might find right now that you might not find, opportunities for maybe seeing tracks that you wouldn't normally see other times of the year. And it's just a really fun way to get the kids out and even adults too, to just really kind of observe what's going on.
This is a really great idea. You had done this for another topic at one point. I thought it was so great just to go out and try and find those things with your kiddo. What a great way to spend your time. The only one I don't want to find is the spider, but I mean, everything else I'm good with.
Spiders
even the
are
worm.
good though, Morgan.
I know,
they're so good for your garden.
I know, Nina. I know.
You have to make friends with them.
I'm just gonna pretend that I don't see them then because I can't be friends with them. It's the one thing. Well, maybe if they're in my house, that's the only time that it's tough. But either way, Nature Walk Bingo is a fabulous thing to do. You can easily print that out out, and we'll make that available to people as well. So very fun. Other thing you can do, stop by the library.
Yes. So every library I love librarians, right? And I think it's probably one of their favorite jobs is that they get to go through and like curate the different seasons. And so not only are we going to like see different things that are really helpful for this time of the year, people are wanting to plan their gardens, people are wanting to know how to maybe do some planting and seeding and sprouting, understanding what happens during the spring, holidays that might occur as well. You know, I just stopped by the library before I came here and picked these up. They're out in the open, right? So it's super easy and accessible. And if I'm being honest, I went like a week or two ago and got a whole stack of just adult ones. They're just right out there in the open. They're so great at putting things out there that are that hit us in the seasons. And then also too, depending on where you go, a lot of times they might have a seed. Seeds available too.
A lot of times they do seed packets. That's great.
And they're for free, you know, within a limit, of course. But you know, I know for sure the Rock Island Library has them, and so it's a really cool thing that you can kind of go down and check out. Whether it's native plants or vegetables to get you kind of just started.
Yeah, it's really fun. And then we had Scott talking about the seed bombs and things like that. So a lot of really cool things you can do. I love this on the list. Find east and west.
Yeah, so that's always something really interesting you can do when it is an equinox. And so one of the easiest things you can do, either go out for the sunrise, which is kind of easier now because they're a little bit later in the mornings. Or the sunset. Find out where the sun is in relationship to that occurrence, and then take a look at some of your landmarks. And then that is easy to determine, you know, which way is east and west every day.
That's very cool. Start a nature notebook. So what is that?
Yeah, so we've talked about it a little bit before, but I feel like spring is kind of the new season, and it might be a great idea for some people. It can be as simple as, you know, finding a really fun themed notebook or just a general, you know, 3-ring to encourage either yourself or your family or everybody to take notes, be observant. What's going on outside? How does this walk make me feel? How did finding that spider make me feel, or where was it? Or, you know, just kind of thinking about it from that perspective. Looking at maybe some more themed ones, like if you are into gardening. You know, it's just kind of a fun thing to be able to also to utilizes the creative side of our brain.
It's a different way to journal. It's kind of a way to get you into that. This is like one of my favorite things on your list. Adopt a storm drain. Nina, I love this.
So there are definitely more formal programs of this. But when I was thinking of what occurs in spring, right, and something that people could start doing more of is paying attention to where our water goes. Whether it's snow or rain. Most people think that keeping the storm drains clear are the city's responsibility, and it's actually a citizen responsibility.
Really?
So if you can, in your neighborhood, you know, find out where your storm drains are. Please be safe doing so. You know, preferably not on main streets. And then just keep an eye on it. Make sure that leaves are not in the way. Make sure that there's not, you know, litter, those types of things, either before or after a storm, so that the water can flow more freely.
I think that's amazing. Adopt a storm drain is such a cool thing, like to get your kids out and get them thinking about all of those things, and also thinking about the weather. Like you mentioned, it is rainy season, stormy season coming up, and we have all kinds of issues with flash flooding, you know, when our neighborhoods flood. Well, that's part of the reason why.
It really is, and it's just some of that debris. It can be natural debris like the leaves and such, and most of us just walk by it thinking, well, that needs to be cleared. When we have two hands and we can easily bend over and kind of help clear it ourselves and help water find its way.
Well, very cool, and it kind of aligns with your mission, which is getting people to care more about the environment around them and about our river. So if you want to learn more about the mission of Prairie Rivers Network, or if you want to get involved in some way, there are lots of ways to do that. Just visit their website, which is there at the bottom of your screen. As always, Nina, just fabulous ideas to incorporate the whole family.
Thanks.
Yes, thank you so much. Still to come, while we are technically celebrating spring today, it's okay to start planning for summer. Travel Iowa is back after the break to tell us about another new trend.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Well, Travel Iowa has been with us throughout the show today. We've been having a lot of fun. We're talking about travel trends for 2025 and ways to achieve that perfect vacation without the cost of a plane ticket. Jessica O'Reilly is back with us now. Jessica, thank you again for being here and talking about all of this stuff. That is just like a ton of information to, you know, pass along, but it's been really great. Summer. We've been talking a lot about spring. Summer will be here before we know it. So we're seeing a lot of adults who are interested in this new trend called nostalgia travel.
Right. So this could be like recreating your favorite childhood memories with your own kids, or revisiting places that you did on vacation, or it could be just, you know, a throwback to a simpler time.
I really, really love that, because I keep seeing like these posts on social media that are like, you know, comparing like what kids are doing today with what we used to do as kids, and how different it was just to go outside and play as it is now. And so I get it. I get why nostalgia travel would be a big one. Okoboji is a great place.
Yes, it's just a vintage, just a classic summer destination. So Arnold's Park Amusement Park right there on the shoreline of Lake Okoboji.
Oh, look at that.
It includes the renowned wooden roller coaster, the Legend. The Nutty Bar, of course, is a classic from the Okoboji. They've got a great trail that goes around the lake, so you can walk or bike around it. And their nature center is fantastic. Live animals, interactive displays. It's got like an outdoor play area that is all natural, so that, you know, the kids are climbing on tree stumps and climbing over things and just enjoying the outdoors.
So the Great Lakes Trail, that is something that, you know, everyone can access. That's what we're looking at right here.
Yep.
So that goes around Lake Okoboji?
Yes.
Okay.
So, see, you're going right by the lake. So
I've never been, so I especially love it when you come on and you talk about a place that I wanted to go, and I get to see all these beautiful photos of it, so that is really cool. And then the Nature Center, you said it features live animals there? Like petting display?
Yes, I believe there are turtles there that you can experience.
Oh, I see.
There's the turtle. The other one is like experiencing like being inside a honey bee.
That is so cool.
And a beehive, and so then there's the natural playscape where you can just climb around on logs and enjoy the outdoors.
Very cool. And you can do all the really cool things that you would have done, you know, 20 years ago, which is just boating, kayaking, riding your bike, all of that stuff.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
All the lake amenities.
Perfect. That is really cool. That's a cool photo right there. So where are we eating in Okoboji?
So the Fish House. It doubles as a restaurant and a cruise ship.
Okay, is that it right there?
That's it right there.
That's awesome.
Yes, and in the winter, if you go to Okoboji in the winter, you can ice fish from there. So,
oh my gosh.
But yeah, it cruises around the lake, and you can enjoy dinner on there. The Taco House.
Yum.
This is someone in our office absolutely loves the Taco House.
And officially, I'm starving.
Starving.
Now.
So it's an Okoboji staple since 1966, and serves more than tacos, but it's a seasonal thing, so you really can only get it in the summer.
Okay.
In Okoboji, and we already touched on the Nutty Bar stand. So get that famous ice cream. There it is again.
Oh yeah, that's
at Arnold's Park.
Okay, so and that is like historic. Like you must stop there, take the photo.
You should stop there, absolutely.
Okay,
great.
great.
One.
Very cool. So where are we staying in Okoboji?
So a couple options. Bridges Bay Resort, perfect for families. It's got multiple restaurants, a zip line, arcade, an outdoor pool with a swim-up bar, water volleyball and basketball, and racing slides. Or if it's a adult getaway, the Inn Hotel offers escape in elegantly decorated rooms. They've got an on-site tavern, an outdoor pool, complimentary breakfast.
I love the differences, you know, when something is like so like hyper family focused, it's like color.
Yeah, and then like here's the
elegant.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it's nice to have both options 100%, because not everybody is going to Okoboji because they're taking a family trip. You know what I mean? This is a really beautiful place to visit. So very cool. Okay, Central Iowa is another one with just a lot to plan for summer. Yes. So the first one that comes to mind, Adventureland.
Adventureland, and I have to there's a slogan is going through my head. Their commercial, I hear it in my head every summer. Come on over to Adventureland. Gonna have a fun-filled day.
Yeah.
Yes. 100 rides, game shows, and attractions, including 3 roller coasters. They also have the outdoor water park. All of that is included with your admission, so you can do go back and forth between the amusement park and then take a lazy river ride, and then gear back up for some of those crazy rides.
Okay, cool. High Trestle Trail.
Yes, so this is an iconic trail.
Oh my gosh, that's
that
beautiful.
Bridge is the iconic feature of the trail. It runs from Ankeny to Woodward. That's a 25-mile single-way route. But it now connects with the Raccoon River Valley Trail in Central Iowa, so you could, if you wanted to, do 120 miles of biking.
That's amazing. That is really stunning, too.
Yes, and you can see it lights up at night, so it is very cool.
It's gorgeous.
Totally worth it.
Rail Explorers. So this is another one with views.
Yes, we have talked about this before. So these are motor-assisted bikes.
I'm scared.
You shouldn't be. You're seatbelted in. They don't want you to fall out any more than you want to fall out. So it's the same track that the Boone and Scenic Valley Railroad operates on, but this is, you're on the bikes and you don't really have to pedal much at all, and you get all those sweeping views.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
Very, very cool. The Heritage Carousel, so this is like historic.
Yeah, I just had to throw this in for the nostalgia of it all, because who doesn't love a carousel ride? And so this one has 30 hand-carved and hand-painted animals, 2 chariots, turning to the music of a Stinson band organ, and rides are 50 cents for kids and $1 for adults.
That's amazing. You cannot beat that.
You cannot.
Okay, speaking of things you cannot beat, Fong's Pizza. We're talking about where to eat.
Yes,
Fong's Pizza.
Of course, we're talking about places to eat.
So good. I love it so much. And Zombie Burger. Those are 2 iconic restaurants.
2 iconic restaurants in downtown Des Moines. So Fong's is moving. So if you had been to their previous location, they are now moving, and they will be reopened in April.
Okay.
And if you knew where the Peachtree Brewing location was in downtown Des Moines, that's where Fong's is moving.
Okay.
Zombie Burger there in the East Village as well. But Lua Brewing was recently voted the best brew pub in the United States by USA Today readers.
Oh, and that's stunning as well.
So
I love the decor of these
Smash
places.
burgers and great patio, tasty brews. They do some live music as well.
Okay.
It's delicious.
Very cool. And where to stay? We've got Surety Hotel. Am I saying that right?
Yep, Surety Hotel.
Surety Hotel is just downtown. And then on the other end of things, we've got the Vintage Campers.
I love this.
In Newton. So very, very cool. We have had so much to talk about here today with Travel Iowa. It's been a ton of fun. And Jessica, thank you so much. We've got the website on the screen to help people plan their trip. We really appreciate you coming by.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you. And thank you for watching.